Hi, I'm Joy.
Hi, I'm Skylar,
And welcome back to FFTV.
Game Reduced Lunches Actions.
Needed by September 24th. Last week, teachers shared what they were doing on 9/11. Let's see how this impacted our fellow teachers.
Ms. Vocalo, can you please tell us what happened on 9/11 for you?
September 11th, 2001, I was actually out of the country. My best friend at the time was getting married in London, and so that's where I was. She had just gotten married a couple days ago. Before this happened, we were out shopping, and I remember walking around, and all of a sudden the streets started getting clearer, and people started leaving the sidewalks. And I heard people say, "America, America, something happened in America." And it's a terrible British accent, but I was like, what's happening in America? That's where I live. So I went to the windows. They were crowding around windows that had TVs. So I went to see what they were looking at, and that's when I saw one of the planes hit the towers, and I thought, this has got to be a movie. And then they started saying that, no, that America's actually under attack. And next thing they said, get home as fast as you can, because we're shutting down the train stations. We don't know if Europe or the UK is going to be attacked next, because they're American allies. So we got on the train, got back to my friend's apartment as soon as we could, and that's when I saw the rest of it unfold on TV, and I just thought, this is crazy. I was crying. I was trying to call my family. Phone lines were shut down. Got in touch with my family, but I didn't get in touch with my friends from New York till the next day. They were all fine, thank God. And they canceled my flight to return. I had to get a new flight. Saw crazy security in the airport. It was a really solemn experience. The only good thing that I could say that came out of what must be the most terrible thing that's happened, one of the most terrible things that's happened in America, is that right after it, I'd never seen people come together in the way that they did. Like, everybody was proud to be an American, and people of all races, all ages, and all creeds were all just coming together to rally around America. So that's what I remember.
So I was in first grade when 9/11 happened. I remember our teachers going across the hallways and saying, "What was happening? What's going on? Did you see the news?" And we had TVs in our room that would progress the news. And she turned it on, and I do remember seeing the towers and going what's going on. I remember the phone was ringing because parents were picking up kids. They were like, no, we're picking up our kids. And then eventually the school was like, no, everyone calm down. No one's going out of the room yet. And I remember being very confused because I was 6 when it happened. But it was crazy. Horrible, but crazy.
I was in the 5th grade when 9/11 happened. It was a culture day, and I just remember our teacher turning on the TV and having us get real quiet to watch the news. And as the second plane hit the second tower, looking back, I understand that I didn't quite know what was going on at the time, but I also kind of realized how it was one of the saddest days in America's history. But at the same time, it brought our country so close together from such a horrific event. So it was one of the saddest yet best times for America, in my opinion, as far as bringing us together.
What I remember is I was in the 5th grade. I was 10, and my 5th grade teacher at the time had a cell phone, so we thought he was the coolest guy in all of history. And he got a phone call from his buddy who was in New York at the time and said, turn on the TV, turn on the TV. And we immediately, because we had TVs back then in the classroom, that could actually share actual TV, not just the cassette tapes. And we turned on the news, and I remember watching, it was the first tower had just been hit, and it was very confusing. We thought, at first as a 5th grader, I thought maybe it was a movie trailer, or, we were all just very shocked and confused at what we were looking at. And then as we were watching, the second tower was hit, and we all were saddened and shocked and confused, and a lot of us started crying because we realized that those were moms and dads and brothers and sisters and people that immediately had just lost their lives in that moment. And we then continue throughout our day, and sadly, you know, parents were trying to pick up their kids, and it was mass chaos, and but it was just a day I remember of just being solemn and sad, and all I could think about was all of those people that weren't coming home.
I think everybody's first reaction is you remember exactly where you were. I was getting my locker, I was getting my book for my science class from my locker. And then I went to science class and saw it on the screen. And as we were sitting there, I was born in Philadelphia. So Philadelphia is an hour away from New York, 2 hours away from DC, and an hour and a half away from Shanksville. So it was just a nervous, unsettling feeling knowing that we were kind of in the middle of the triangle. I remember the chaos of our school trying to figure out whether to keep us in one spot or to send us home. We have family in New York, so you know, the normal reaction, I remember exactly where I was, and then the fear of not knowing what was going to happen next. And then that fear, I remember distinctly carried on throughout the night, and then by the morning, and it was still on the TV, so I just remember it lasting for a couple days. And it was a feeling that even now, I was just telling my students, like, you feel it kind of like in your chest. And it's something that I've never had since.
Where were you at 9/11?
I worked at Mount Vernon ISD in Mount Vernon, Texas, and I worked at the school, and I was in the main office right after driving my school bus, and I was at the main office talking to the secretary, and that's when they started showing it on the TV, on the monitor. And so that's where I was working at school, and it was a very sad and hard day for everybody. And so anyway, do you want to know more about it?
Well, sure.
Okay, when that happened, they stopped, all the airplanes stopped flying. And so we went to a football game that Friday to go watch a football game. And it was very scary when we saw one plane, a big old plane that was flying over the football stadium, but it was more like an army plane. And so it was kind of, I guess, for security, making sure that everybody was fine, but it was a really sad day for everybody, so, okay.
Thanks.
It was my second year of teaching, and I was in a meeting for all English teachers from our school, and a person came running into our room and said, hey, you got to turn on the news, something really bad happened. They turned it on, and they replayed the first plane going into the building. I didn't think it was an accident immediately. I knew there wasn't any evidence of it, but it just seemed too coincidental to be an accident. They went ahead and let all the teachers go for the day, and so I was talking to my wife. I worked in Fort Worth at the time, so it was about an hour drive to get home. And I remember being on the phone and my wife telling me that another plane had hit. And both my wife and I, we talked about how scared we were, because Dallas and Fort Worth, those are prime places to hit. You have the skyline of Dallas, you have FEMA, that's a big target as well, and we didn't know what was going to happen. So I remember, we both went in, we locked our doors, we made sure we had enough food and water for several days, and we just kind of sat and watched the news and just felt very depressed and very saddened. Because we knew there was a large loss of life. We just didn't know how many. And that was about it.
Let's see the student nominations for STUCO.
Hi, my name is Anastasia Lindbergh, and I'm running for your 2019-2020 class secretary. I look forward to helping out my student body and my presidents. I will have my ears open for fresh new ideas. Vote for me at your 2019-2020 class secretary.
Hi, my name is Emily Honey. I'm running for Student Council VP, and you should vote for me because I'm really nice.
Hello, my name is Elisha Lopez, and I'm running for Student Council Freshman Vice President. You should vote for me because I will be a fighting farmer that will fight for you.
Hi, my name is Paige Ambrose. I'm running for Student Council Freshman President, and you should vote for me because I'm ready to make this year a happy year for each and every one of you.
Hi, I would like to join STUCO because I want to make new friends. I also want to enrich like the society of school. I want to be the treasurer, and that's about it.
My name is Kendall, and I'm running for historian. And y'all should vote for me because I'm responsible, I'm dedicated. Yeah.
Hey, Skylar.
Hey.
How hot is it gonna be tomorrow?
I don't know. Let's check with David and Louis.
Hey guys, it's Luis,
Hi, it's David.
and here with the weather.
Alright, Thursday will be raining with a high of 87 and the low of 72.
Friday will be raining with the high of 81 and the low of 73.
Saturday will be also raining with a high of 89 and the low of 73.
Sunday will be mostly sunny with the high of 89 and the low of 73.
Monday will be sunny with a high of 91 and the low of 73.
Tuesday will be mostly sunny with the high of 90 and the low of 73.
Wednesday will be also raining with a high of 87 and the low of 68.
Hey, who's your favorite teacher?
I don't know, girl.
Well, let's see the teacher of the week.
Congratulations, Louis!
How does it feel being staff of the week?
I'm so excited right now. This is awesome. Thank y'all.
Do you have any advice for our Harmon students?
Be kind to each other, be respectful, and do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whoops, there's no football.
It's a bye week. Let's go to sports with JC.
Varsity tennis plays at home versus Denton Ryan this Friday. Today, cross country will be running at the Metroplex Challenge.
9A through varsity against Hebron at Louisville High School. On the 21st, JV plays in the Allen Tournament. On the 24th, 9A through varsity plays Irving High School. Also on the 24th, JV2 plays Jasper at Louisville High School.
JV golf girls will be playing at Oak Hollows September 19th.
And the JV2 will be playing on September 24th at Firewheel.
Make sure you always wear your IDs.
Oh my God,
Here, Skylar, you need one.
Farmer tip line. See something, say something.
Be stronger, farmer.